Hello, my name is Keshwani. There's Keshwani, Keshwani. Excuse me. We are here because we want to learn to read and write Hindi. We are also here because we want to learn to read and write Urdu. We are doing both at the same time. Today is our lesson number 80. Let's begin. The first one is very straightforward. The word is A. Let me rewrite that thing because they're not supposed to touch each other. There's supposed to be some distance. Like that. It's alif and then this symbol which is called mud. This symbol is called mud. It converts alif, it converts into a. It gives a ki matra for alif. A and then jeen, aj. आज कहेंगे क काफ then we need a h. We need to convert that h into a he by putting badi a. Badi a is going to give us choti a ki matra, and then we don't need a choti a ki matra, we actually need a badi a ki matra. To convert choti a ki matra, this badi a gives us choti a ki matra. To convert choti a ki matra into badi a ki matra, we put a zabar on top of her, and in Hindi you put one more symbol like this. And now with that reads kahe, except we don't need kahe, we need kahe. Not kahe, kahe. We need a nasalized n at the end, for which in Urdu we put what is known as nun gunna, which is a noon without the dot, without the nukta, without the bindi. And in Hindi you will simply put a dot here, kahe. Let's join them together. So first thing is going to happen is that this badi ye is going to take this shape. As we already know it already, we have done it many times. Now we just sort of join them. Ka, he. That's a ka, and the he, kahe. And we need a zabar on top of her to convert into, actually it's a choti a ki matra. We don't need any of that. I just realized it's a choti a ki matra. Kahe. As soon as I wrote it in Urdu, I realized it was looking weird. That's how I caught myself. Kahe. Kahe means to tell someone. Aaj kahenge. Ge is just a gaf. Ga. And then again, badi ye, which is going to give us choti ye ki matra. Kahenge. In which case, I don't need such a long one. Kahenge. Let's put it together. Let's put them together. It's going to look like this, gaaf and a badi hai. Kahenge. Let's put it here. Aaj kahenge. Aaj kahenge. Dil. Dal, which is a da. We don't need a da, we need a di. We need a choti ki matra. Choti ki matra is produced in Urdu by putting a zer. A symbol underneath the letter called zer, and that gives us choti ki matra, and then a la, lam, dil. Dil means heart, obviously. Aaj kahenge dil ka, which is kaf, ka, and then we need a ki matra, ka. This is going to get a little tricky. When kaf is about to join alif, it takes an entirely different form. The form that it takes in a joint, when it appears in a joint form, it's very different. Instead of writing like this, it takes this form. That's what it looks like. To which we're going to join the alif. Except we don't do it in two short, we do it together. It looks like this. And that's a ka. That's a ka. Kaf and alif. One more time. The kaf, when it's about to join something, it looks like this. To which alif is joined. का. आज कहेंगे दिल का फसाना. फे. Except the way it is written here in Hindi, fa. Listen very carefully. Let me just make sure I'm saying it right. Fa, the way it's written here, this fa is ph, which in Urdu you will write it as pa and a ha. Pe and do chashmi hai, right here. The spelling of the word that we are about to write, fasana or afsana if you like, the spelling of that word calls for not ph. We don't need a ph, we need an f. And f is produced in Hindi because Hindi does not have f. Hindi only has ph. So when the spelling calls for f, we just write this same letter and we put a dot underneath it, and now it becomes f. Now it is f, not ph. That's what we need here. We need a fe. This letter is called fe. Fa, and then seen, fa, so. We don't need a sa, we need a sa. And then we do na. Okay, watch what happens. So there are a couple of complications in this word. First is this first complication, we already talked about it. The first sound here is f, not ph. We need a fe, the letter fe. The second complication that we're going to have to deal with here is that even though in Hindi it ends with the aki matra, many a times you will find that when the words end with aki matra, the sound of aki matra, even though they end with aki matra, but instead of taking alif, they take a ha. This here, right here, the third one. We have to put all of this together. So it's going to take this form when it joins. It's just going to have two loops, that's all, that's a sa. And this is what it looks like. Fa, and two loops for sa, one more loop to join the alif. So far it's this fasa, and then a na and a ha. This right here. It changes the form also. There are many complications. It no longer looks like this. When it joins, it no longer takes this form. It just goes like that. And now that reads na. This part is na. And it reads fasana. Aaj kahenge dil ka fasana. Another way we could have written fasana is that instead of making two loops for sa and then one more loop to join the alif, most people would write it like this: fasana, fa, sana. And that's more of a grown-up handwriting. Most of the time you will see this in the print, in newspaper like that. Not like this because it takes too long to write, it makes three loops. So instead of making three loops, we just make one very long loop, and the reader will understand that's a sa and a. That's a sin and alif, sa, fasana. Aaj kahenge dil ka fasana. Sometimes instead of fasana, the word you will see is afsana with a in front of it. Afsana and fasana are the exact same words. In the poetry, sometimes instead of afsana, actual word is afsana, which means which means story. Instead of afsana, because of the poetic reason, because of the melodic flow of the singing, of the words in the poetry, people drop the and afsana becomes fasana. They are the exact same words. So here we have fasana. We don't have afsana. We don't have a. Aaj kahenge dil ka fasana. Aaj kahenge dil ka fasana. What she says is that today I will reveal my heart's story. Fasana means story. Her heart's story being the fact that she is in love with the prince, Prince Salim that is. And the king, the emperor, is not too keen on the idea. He does not like the idea that this courtesan, this dancer has fallen in love with the prince. He does not approve of it. He strongly disapproves of it. As a matter of fact, he is going to have her executed because she is in love with the prince. But before she dies, she is singing right now in front of the king, declaring her love, making a declaration of her love for his son, which is why it starts out like that. इंसान किसी से दुनिया में एक बार मोहब्बत करता है, इस दर्द को लेकर जीता है, इस दर्द को लेकर मरता है. And then she goes on to say, प्यार किया है, डरना क्या? I have fallen in love, why should I be afraid? प्यार किया है, चोरी नहीं की. I have fallen in love. I have not committed a crime. Chup chup aahe bharna ka. Why should I sigh privately? Why should I sigh away from the public's view, as if I have done something wrong, as if I should be ashamed of it? No, I am in love. What's the big deal? I have not committed a crime. Chori nahi ki. So she goes on to say to him in this 2 line, Aaj kahenge dil ka fasana. Today I shall reveal my story, the fact that I'm in love with your boy, today, the fact that I'm in love with the Prince Salim, I will tell to the whole world. Aaj kahenge dil ka fasana. Let's look at the next line. And of course, when she makes the declaration, the emperor is so livid, the emperor is so angry that he has her, as I said before, executed. And you will see that in the next line. She said, I shall tell my story to the whole world. In the next line you will see, Jaan bhi le le, Jaan, B is ba, and the do chashmi here, which is going to give us ba. We don't need a ba, we need a B. Badi ki matra, so it is choti hai, B. Jaan B, le. Le would be lam and a badi. That's going to give us le. Looks like this. Jaan bhi le. It repeats the word. Le. Jaan bhi le. Jaan bhi le. Chahe. Chahe is cha, che, and a. Cha. And then he. Her and a badi. Chahe. Let's put them together. Cha, and then her, and a badi. Jaan bhi le chahe zamana. Z, that letter is called Z in Urdu. The name of the letter is Z. As you know by now, Urdu letters have names, unlike Hindi. We don't just produce a sound, we have names, just like in English. It's A, B, C, D, each letter has a name. This is called Z. It produces a Z sound. Z is simply, you write your J in Hindi and you put a dot to improvise it, because Hindi does not have a letter for Z. That's how we produce Z sound. Z, and then ma. Z, ma. And again, we're going to see the same thing before. What we need is zamana. But zamana is not going to be spelled like that. Zamana is going to be spelled like that. Z, ma, and then you put a no and a h. And that's going to produce zamana. When you put them together, it's going to look like this. Like that, zamana. That's what we need. That's what the correct spelling calls for here. We don't write like zamana like that. Zamana is written like that. Jaan bhi le le, chahe zamana. Zamana means world. He says, I don't care if the world takes my life from me. And when she says world, of course she's talking to the emperor. She does not just jaan bhi le le, chahe tu. She does not address him directly. Tu or tum or aap. She does not address him directly. Instead she uses indirect way of communicating with him. Zamana, she calls it, the world. I don't care if the world takes my life from me. Even if I have to give up my life. If the world, jaan bhi lana chahe zamana, even if the world takes the life from me, I shall declare my love for the boy that I fall in love with, for the prince. Aaj kahenge dil ka fasana. Today I shall tell the story of my heart, even if it costs me my life. That's what it says. Even if it costs me my life. She knows she's about to die. She knows her days are numbered, that the king is not pleased with him, with her rather, and that he will have her executed. Jaan bhi le le chahe zamana. Let's look at the next line. Again, it goes on even deeper. Mot wahi jo, mot, that is ma, We don't need a ma, we need a mo, so we need a wow. And when it joins, the ma is going to look like this, to which the wow is going to join mo. And then a to. Maut. Maut means death. Maut, wahi, wa. And then we need a he. Wa, and then he. He, and a badi. Choti hai. Choti hai is going to give us badi ki matra. Wa, he. Looks like this. Wahi. Maut, wahi. Maut, wahi. Jo. Jim. Jo. We don't need a jo, we need a jo. Jo. Maut, wahi, jo. Dunya. Dal. That's a da. We don't need a da, we need a do. We put a pesh on top of it. And then a na. Dun. And then a ya. Maut wahi jo dunya. Dal. We don't need a da, we need a de. We need a badi hai. Badi hai is going to give us choti hai ki matra. De. And then the next letter is a tricky one. So tricky one for Urdu speaker who is learning to write Hindi. You'll see again in a second. It happens over and over again. The letter we are looking for is kha. De, khe, kha. Kha looks like this. Which in English you will make it as K and H, which is exactly what we will do in Urdu. We'll take a kaf and join it with a do chashmi hai. Kaf and do chashmi hai, right here, the very last one is going to produce kha. And when it's put together, it looks like this. Like that. That's a kha. Kha. That's what we need here. Except we don't need a kha, we need a k. Let's put them together. So let's rewrite it. I erase everything. So we have a dal and a badi hai that gives us a ki matra. Then we have a k, kha, and a badi again, which gives us choti ki matra. And that says dekhe. Dekhe. Maut wahi jo dunya dekhe. Let's put them together. This second badi hai, because it appears at the end, it's going to retain its shape. This one, because it appears in the middle, it's going to change its shape. It's going to look like this. And we just have to put them together. Dal, badi hai, khe, and the badi hai. There you go. And that reads dekhe. Maut wahi jo dunya dekhe. Maut wahi jo dunya dekhe. What she's trying to say is that if I'm going to die, I'm going to die in a way where the whole world is going to see, in the plain view of the entire world. What she's trying to say is that if I'm going to go, I'm not going to go quietly. I'm going to have a dramatic exit. I'm going to make a scene of it. I'm going to produce a scene of it. I'm going to make a dramatic exit. I'm not going to go quietly. Maut wahi jo dunya dekhe. The death that awaits me, the whole world shall be the witness to it. That's what it says. In the next line, she makes it even clearer. Let's look at the next line. In the next line, she becomes even more more daring rather. Daring. Fearless. Intrepid. Let's learn the word first. It's a vocab word, we need to learn it. The first complication is that we have a ga, to which we're going to join the do chashmi hai to produce ga, which in Hindi you will write it as like this. except I think the line has to be straight. It cannot be at an angle. It has to come down straight. There you go. That's a G. When we put them together, it's going to look like this. We don't need a G, we need a Gu. Not only we need a Gu, but we need a badi U ki matra. So here we have a G. Now if there are two lines here. There are two lines here because it's a G. With just one line it would have been K. That would have been K. K and a H would have been K, which is this letter right here. The two lines gives us the G. One line gives us K, two lines give us G. We learned this letter obviously somewhere right there on day number 3. That's a K and that's a G. G and a H. Gaf, this is called Gaf. Gaf, this is called Kaf. Gaf and a do chashmi hai. Gaf and do chashmi hai give us the G. We don't need a G, we need a Gu. So we put a pesh on it. And that gives us Gu. Except here we do not need a choti U ki matra, we need a badi U ki matra. The correct spelling calls for badi U ki matra. Badi U ki matra is produced in Urdu by joining a wow with the ulta pesh. And that gives us badi U ki matra. This is called ulta pesh. This is pesh, ulta pesh. We have to combine them together. When we combine them together, it's going to look like this. G and a wow with ulta pesh. That speaks Gu. Then we need a Na. Then we need a Ta. Then we need a Na. And now it reads, let's erase all the other stuff. Let's first put them together, shall we? Let's put them together. So this is a G, wow, ulta pesh makes a Gu, Na, Ta and Na. Okay, let's pay attention here. What it reads so far, what you see on the blackboard is not the word we're looking for. It's not spelled correctly. We have to fix the spelling. It says Guna Tana. It's not Gu. We don't need a Guna Tana. We need Gutna. Gutna, not Guna Tana. Gutna. The first N is nasalized. The first N that you see is nasalized. We already know that when that appears, when that happens at the end of the word, we simply put a noon without the dot. But when it appears in the middle of the word, we do have to write the entire na. We do have to write the entire noon, but on top of the noon we put this symbol to tell the reader, don't pronounce this in its entirety. To tell the reader, hey, this is nasalized. This N is nasalized. It's not guna tana. It's not guna tana. It's gutna. What do we do in Hindi? Because Hindi also says guna tana. In Hindi it's very simple. You take out the na and you put a dot. We have seen this many times. We have seen this many times. And now it says gutna. I'm not sure if the dot should go on ta or here. It should go on ta, but we have to bring everything together. I'm not sure if it goes here or here. Guntna. What does it mean, Guntna? Let's learn the meaning, shall we? Guntna means to strangle, or if you like, if you want to be fancy, strangulate. It's the same thing. Strangulate, strangle, to choke. Good enough. If you put your arms around somebody's neck and just choke them until they die, as the person is dying, that process is called gutna. And the word we are looking for here is gunt, not gutna but gunt. It comes from gutna. Let's look at the line. So the previous line was Maut wahi jo duniya dekhe. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die in such a way that the entire world shall be the witness to it. That's what it says. The next line says, See, Hindi it says goont, but in Urdu, the way it is written, it does not say goont, it says gunata. We don't need a gunata, we need goont. So we need to put a symbol on top of it, like this. To tell the person it's nasalized, goont. Now it says goont. And she repeats the word. Goont, goont. Kar. Goont, goont. Kar. Ka and a ra. Kar. Kaf and a ra. Kar. Goont, goont, kar. And the next we have is you. Ya. But we don't need a ya, we need a you. Ya, we need a u. The u would have been like this. Choti u ki matra. But the correct spelling calls for badi u ki matra. So we don't need to pesh here. What we need here is another vav and ulta pesh. And that's going to give us badi u ki matra. When you combine them together, it's going to look like this. Good kar, you. Good kar, you. मरना क्या We have done these words before, so that's why I'm not taking my time to explain it. We have done it before many times in this song. Good kar you marna kya. Good kar you marna kya. What she's trying to say is that, because what's going to happen is that, as I said before, the king has her executed. But executed in what manner? He executes her not in a traditional sense, but by, here's the English word. I'm going to first write down the English word. The word is immure. Immure. She has her executed in the most cruel way that you can possibly imagine. He has her executed by immurement. The word is immurement. Immure means, literally it means to build wall, to build a wall around somebody. As the person is standing there, you build a wall around somebody, you close the top, and the person eventually dies slowly, suffocating. That's what she's saying. Why should I die slowly, suffocating? Good kar you marna kya. Good kar you marna kya. Maut wahi jo dunya dekhe. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I'm going to make a dramatic exit. I'm not going to give you the pleasure of drawing the life out of me slowly. I'm going to die in a dramatic way. I'm going to go in a dramatic way. Why should I let you draw the life out of me slowly? I'm going to write all this down because it's important. Well, why should I let them, here it says them, but by them I mean the emperor, why should I let him draw the life out of me slowly? Good kar you marna kya. If I'm going to go, I shall make a dramatic exit. That's it. I shall make a dramatic exit. I'm going to cause a scene. I'm going to make a scene. I'm going to let the world know my story. Aaj kahenge dil ka fasana. Today I shall tell the story of my heart. Maut wahi jo jaan bhi le le chahe zamana. Even if jaan bhi le le chahe zamana. Even if it means the world is going to take the life from me. Even if it costs me my life. Maut wahi jo dunya dekhe. If I'm going to die in such a way that the whole world should be the witness to it. Good kar you marna kya. Why should I die slowly, suffocating, strangulation, as if somebody's strangulating me, as if somebody's choking me? I will go in a dramatic way. That's all. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.